All I'm saying is it's wrong for any government anywhere in the world that embraces democracy to make a futile attempt to prevent the opposition from presenting a side of the story to the international community. So therefore, attempts by government to prevent the former president from engaging the diplomatic community and our larger international partners, those attempts are futile. Those attempts are undemocratic, and those attempts don't reflect our credentials as a free society with freedom of association and freedom of speech. So His Excellency the former president is free to engage anybody within the international community. Where a little concern can be raised is, of course, as a former president, he had access to state secrets. How much of those secrets would he willingly, or how many of those secrets would he willingly want to share? That could be a cause for concern. But apart from that, he's free to meet anybody he wants to meet as an opposition leader, yet to be, but most likely anyway. So therefore, let's not create an issue where there is no issue at all. You can't gag the leader of an opposition party from engaging the international community. Why? Are you a dictatorship or a dictatorial government or regime? No, it's very unfair. And I think in the spirit of goodwill from across political parties, this is a non-issue at all. The former president, the leader of the opposition is free to meet anybody. When you go to Uganda, Kizza Besigye is free to meet, Uganda's international partners and talk about domestic issues, even though Uganda is ruled by Yoweri Museveni. And of course, when you go to Zimbabwe, before Morgan Tsvangirai passed away, and also before Robert Mugabe lost power, he was free as well to kind of interact with people from the international community. So this is a non-issue. This is a non-issue. The leader of an opposition party in a democratic country is free to engage the international community. And attempts to prevent him from doing that, for me, are so undemocratic. And so therefore, I think this is an issue we need to criticize the former president. And of course, what he decides to share with them is up to him. Issues of honesty, sincerity, integrity, and all that, they boil down to personal choices. Diplomats are like girlfriends that have been taken by the party in power. That doesn't prevent other suitors from wooing them. So I think this is standard practice, that the leader of an opposition party engages our international partners. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And attempts that are being made to gag the opposition from engaging the international community are wrong. Why? Does the party in power own Ghana? Does the party in power own Ghana and what Ghana stands for? And how the world views and interacts with Ghana? No. The party in power is only a tenant in the Jubilee House. And sooner or later is going to be kicked out anyway. Whether it is in the next election, next 5 elections, next 10 elections, it will leave power anyway. So don't be dictatorial. It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong for you to make an attempt to silence the leader of the opposition from engaging the international community. It's wrong. And anybody leading that undemocratic move should cease fire. It doesn't help anybody. The leader of an opposition party anywhere in the world is free to engage the international community. So don't make an attempt to prevent the head of an opposition party from engaging the international community. And I think this message has to be clear. Yes, it has to be clear that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is engaging the international press, is engaging diplomats, then anybody who doesn't understand that this is within the ambit of international diplomacy should revise their notes on diplomacy. Nobody can prevent an opposition leader in a democratic country from engaging our international partners. It doesn't happen anywhere. Let me lower this thing. It gets hot when it is off. Yeah, of course, when it's on to the quality of sound is low. When Aung San Suu Kyi was the leader of the opposition in Myanmar, wasn't she engaging the UK and other countries? Who told you that an opposition leader, even Burma, that was not seen as, that was seen as a military regime. Aung San Suu Kyi was free to engage the international community, even in a very hostile environment in Burma, now Myanmar. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with the opposition engaging our international partners in a democratic, society like ours. So stop the criticism. I think this is a non-issue. This is a complete non-issue. And those who are trying to make an issue out of this should stop. It doesn't help anybody. It is standard practice that the opposition in a democratic country can engage Yasser Arafat and tell me whether the sound is still okay. Yeah, I sweat a lot, so when the air conditioning is off, I feel uncomfortable. But I don't know whether it is interfering with the sound. Yes, so this is a non-issue. And when you find people pass commentary on this issue and try to create some, unease. I worked in diplomacy. I did. Even if I did for 1 hour, I did. And I didn't do it for 1 hour. I did it for close to half a decade. I've taken no job longer than doing a job in diplomacy. And I'm telling you, we interacted with ambassadors from Western countries. They told us stuff. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with the leader of an opposition party, yet to be anyway, engaging the diplomatic community and a larger international party. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And in Ghana, politicians always want to take the initiative and dictate the narrative when there are no issues at all. The issues that matter to us should be how we mobilize as a country, how we get people getting back to work, getting the youth engaged. And someone wants to enjoy taxpayer money, and whether the person is in opposition or in power, they create unnecessary unease when ordinary Ghanaians just want to go about their lives. There's no way. Show me any book on diplomacy that says a democratic country can prevent the opposition from engaging the international community. Show me one book on diplomacy that says that. So don't make any attempt to gag the opposition from engaging the international press. Why? Weren't you also saying things about them to the diplomatic community and the international community when you were in opposition? What kind of a country is this? You say you share a divergent view and someone sitting somewhere, someone you don't even know, and tries to say that you are supporting somebody. Who cares about who sits in the Jubilee House? Yes. So the little I am just here to say is that it is standard practice for an opposition in any democratic country. It is not treasonous. It is not treasonous. And doing propaganda on local radio doesn't change international perception about a government, you better get at it and try to convince the international community to think differently. But an opposition party in a democratic country cannot be stopped from engaging a country's international partner. Why? Are you North Korea? Are you North Korea? Even North Korea is now cozying up to the world. So therefore, I learned the former president is in Munich in Germany to do an event. There is an event that is meeting Fatima Bensouda, who is with the International Criminal Court. So for me, it's standard practice. You can decide who you engage as an opposition, because we are a democratic country and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Some people have raised concerns about what you discuss, the integrity and honesty with which you engage them. It's a matter of personal choice. I don't know what I can't dictate what someone says in their private conference with diplomats. If they lie, then they lie against themselves. And it's none of my business. I'm not God to tell them what to do. But I'm saying the process, the means to that end, even though the end has to be true, it has to be honest, but the means to engaging the diplomatic community and the larger international community is not an aberration in a democratic country. It is not an aberration in international diplomacy. If you don't know, you better revise your notes on diplomacy. And those who think they have the preserve to share an opinion on issues, you are not more Ghanaian than anybody. If you are a Ghanaian and you can share your opinion on any issue of your choosing, why prevent people? And I tell you, I'm a watchman to talk only about security. Am I not a son of this soil? You would just be wasting your time trying to prevent people from sharing divergent opinions. And 99% of the people here, they came here. I didn't go sending a request to you or asking you to follow you. I don't care about followership. Why? Do I run a congregation? What do I care about followership? I have views to share. And as a Ghanaian,